2026 Brewers regular season game 21. The Brewers lose against the Marlins 5-3. Yuri Perez with the win, Jacob Mizorowski with the loss, and Pete Fairbanks with the save. Top of the first, Yuri Perez would throw 1-2-3. Bottom of the first, Jacob Murphy would get walked. Xavier Edwards would hit a single, then Otto Lopez would reach on a fielder's choice. A wild pitch for Jacob Mizorowski would make it 1-0 Marlins, and then he'd hit Kyle Stowers on his first at-bat in 8 months. An RBI single by Liam Hicks would make it 3-0 Marlins, and then Connor Norby would strike out to end out the inning. Top of the second, Jake Bauers would strike out for out number 1. Luis Rengifo would hit a single. Yuri Perez would balk, and then the Marlins manager would get ejected. Brandon Lockridge and Greg Jones would get back-to-back strikeouts to end out the inning. Bottom of the second, Jacob Mizorowski would strike out the side. Top of the third, Yuri Perez would throw 1-2-3. Bottom of the third, Xavier Edwards would start off with a walk, and then Otto Lopez would hit a single. After that, Jacob Mizorowski would throw 1-2-3. Top of the fourth, Bryce Strang would lead it off with a single. Gary Sanchez would hit into a double play, then Jake Bauers would be out number 3 on a pop-out. Bottom of the fourth, Connor Norby and Owen Casey would get back-to-back outs. Graham Pauley would get walked, and then Jacob Murphy would strike out to end the inning. Top of the fifth, Luis Rengifo would be out number 1 on a groundout. Brandon Lockridge would hit a double. Greg Jones and Luis Montos would get back-to-back outs to end the inning. Bottom of the fifth, Xavier Edwards and Otto Lopez would get back-to-back outs. Kyle Stowers would get his first hit of 2026 on a double. Then Augustine Ramirez would be out number 3 on a flyout. Top of the sixth, David Hamilton would get walked, then he'd get a stolen base. An RBI grounded by Garrett Mitchell would make it 3-1. Bryce Strang and Gary Sanchez would get back-to-back outs to end the inning. Bottom of the sixth, DL Hall would enter the game for the Brewers. He'd start by walking Liam Hicks. He'd strike out Connor Norby, then Owen Casey would hit a double. A 2 RBI single by Javier Sanoja would make it 5-1. Then Jacob Murphy would get walked. Grant Anderson would enter the game for the Brewers and get back-to-back groundouts to Xavier Edwards and Otto Lopez to end the inning. Top of the seventh, Michael Peterson would enter the game for the Marlins, and he would throw 1-2-3. Bottom of the seventh, Carlos F. Rodriguez would enter the game for the Brewers. He'd start by giving up a single to Kyle Stowers, then Augustine Ramirez would be on number 1. Liam Hicks would hit a double, then Connor Norby and Owen Casey would strike out back-to-back to end the inning. Top of the eighth, Blake Perkins would be out number 1 on a flyout. Sal Frelick would hit a single, and David Hamilton would be out number 2 on a flyout. Andrew Nardi would enter the game for the Marlins. He'd start by walking Garrett Mitchell and Bryce Strang back-to-back, and then an RBI single by Gary Sanchez would make it 5-3. Calvin Felcher would enter the game for the Marlins and get the final out of the inning to William Contreras. Bottom of the eighth, Carlos F. Rodriguez would throw 1-2-3. Top of the ninth, Pete Fairbanks would enter the game for the Marlins, and he would throw 1-2-3 to end out the game. Alright, so the Brewers lose 5-3. The record in the regular season is now 12-9, and the Brewers' respective hitter of the game goes to Gary Sanchez. The pitcher of the game goes to Carlos Rodriguez.